You have a best friend. At some point, you chose each other. But how exactly did that happen? Shared jokes, repeated encounters, moments of vulnerability. It feels natural, effortless, almost accidental. But friendship is not accidental. It never was. It is one of the oldest and most sophisticated survival technologies humans ever developed. And to understand it, we need to go back, way back, around 300,000 years ago, early Homo sapiens, East Africa. The world is enormous, dangerous, and deeply lonely. A lone human is a dead human. No claws, no speed, no natural armor. The only real advantage early humans had was each other. But forming a group is not the same as forming a tribe. A crowd survives. A tribe thrives. And building a tribe required something very specific. Trust. At a scale no other animal had ever achieved. So how did early humans build trust with strangers? The first tool was grooming. Not metaphorical grooming. Literal physical grooming. Picking insects and debris from each other's hair and skin. This is what primates still do today. Our closest relatives. Grooming releases endorphins. In both the groomer and the groomed. It is a neurochemical bonding mechanism disguised as hygiene. Time spent grooming another is time spent building trust. But grooming has a limit. You can only groom one person at a time. Early human groups were growing larger and larger. Grooming alone could not maintain bonds across a whole tribe. So humans evolved something entirely new. Something no other animal had. Language. And specifically, gossip. Not gossip as a guilty pleasure. Gossip as social infrastructure. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar proposed this in his landmark 1996 research. He called it the social brain hypothesis. Language allowed humans to groom multiple people simultaneously. One conversation, multiple bonds strengthened at the same time. Dunbar found that around 65% of all human conversation is social information. Who did what? Who can be trusted? Who broke an agreement? This is what most people call gossip. And it was essential. In a world without contracts or courts, reputation was everything. Knowing who shared food fairly, who ran from danger, who could be relied upon. This information was the difference between life and death. And sharing it was an act of friendship, not idle chatter. But language and gossip still had limits. They required proximity. You had to be physically near someone to talk. And tribes were beginning to spread across vast territories. A new bonding tool was needed, and humans found it. Fire. And what happened around it? Humans mastered fire around 400,000 years ago. Fire did more than cook food and provide warmth. It extended the social day. Before fire, darkness ended social life completely. After fire, the night became the most important social time of all. Anthropologist Wiessner studied the Jew/hoansi people of the Kalahari, one of the last groups still living close to ancient human patterns. She recorded what people talked about during the day versus around the fire at night. During the day, practical matters. Food, tasks, complaints. Around the fire at night, stories, distant people, shared history. 81% of nighttime firelight talk was stories about other people. Stories about courage, betrayal, generosity, love. These weren't entertainment. They were social instruction manuals. They taught the tribe what behavior was valued, what was punished, who was worth trusting, who had proven themselves. The campfire was the world's first social network. And attending it regularly was how you made and kept friends. Now the fourth tool, and perhaps the most surprising one, laughter. Humans are not the only animals that laugh, but we laugh differently. Human laughter can be heard across large distances. It is a beacon, a signal. Come here. This is a safe place. Research shows laughter releases more endorphins than almost any other social behavior. Shared laughter bonds people faster than almost anything else. If you have laughed with someone, you trust them more, immediately. This is not coincidence. This is neurochemistry. Early humans who laughed together stayed together. And those who stayed together survived longer. Laughter was naturally selected. The tribes that laughed together outlasted the ones that didn't. Now, the fifth tool, food sharing. Every culture on Earth shares food as a bonding ritual. Every single one. This is not coincidence. This goes back to the earliest human behavior. Early humans hunted in groups. The kill belonged to everyone. Sharing meat was not generosity. It was the social contract. You share with me today. I share with you tomorrow. This reciprocity is the foundation of every friendship ever formed. Anthropologists call it reciprocal altruism. You give, expecting to receive. Not selfless, strategically generous. Refusing to share food was one of the gravest social crimes in early human groups. It said, I do not trust this tribe. I do not belong here. And the tribe responded accordingly. Now, Tool 6. Ritual and ceremony. Every human culture ever studied has rituals. Without exception. Birth, death, seasons, hunts, coming of age. All marked with shared ceremony. All binding the group together. Why? Because shared experience creates shared identity. We went through this together. That makes us us. Psychologist Scott Wiltermuth found that synchronized movement builds trust rapidly. Moving together, chanting together, dancing together. When bodies synchronize, brains synchronize too. And synchronized brains trust each other more. This is why armies march in step. Why congregations sing together. Why crowds chant. All of it traces back to ancient humans dancing around a fire. Now, Dunbar's number. One of the most famous ideas in social science. Robin Dunbar discovered that human tribes naturally settled at around 150 people. Not 50. Not 500. Consistently around 150. He found this same number across ancient villages, military units, and modern organizations. 150 is the maximum number of people you can maintain genuine relationships with. Beyond 150, you need rules, laws, and hierarchies to hold the group together. Below 150, personal relationships and trust do the job naturally. Within this group, there were inner circles, layers of closeness. The innermost circle, around 5 people. Your closest allies. These were the people you would die for, and who would die for you. The next circle, around 15. Your reliable support network. People you could call on in crisis. Who would show up? The outer ring, up to 150. Familiar faces. Weak ties. People you recognized and trusted enough to trade with. To cooperate briefly. This layered structure is still exactly how human social networks work today. Your phone has hundreds of contacts, but your real inner circle is still around 5. We carry the same social architecture our ancestors carried on the savanna. Now, what made someone worthy of the inner circle? Consistency. Showing up. Again and again. Early humans who disappeared when things got hard were not trusted. Those who stayed during danger were elevated in status immediately. Vulnerability was also a trust accelerant. Showing fear to someone was an enormous act of trust. In a dangerous world, admitting weakness could get you killed. To show it anyway said, I trust you enough to be honest about who I am. And that declaration almost always deepened the bond. This is still true today. Vulnerability is still the fastest route to deep friendship. Now, what happened when tribes met other tribes? Strangers were potential threats or potential allies. Early humans needed a rapid way to signal peaceful intent. The empty hand gesture, showing you carry no weapon. This is the origin of the handshake. We're still doing it today. Gift giving was another intertribal friendship signal. Offering something valuable said, I am investing in you. I expect this to continue. The gift created obligation. An obligation created relationship. Archaeological evidence shows gifts being exchanged across hundreds of kilometers. Friendships maintained across vast distances. Tens of thousands of years ago. Now, let's bring it back to you. And to now. Every friendship tool your ancestors used, you still use. Today. Grooming became personal care rituals shared with close friends. Campfire gossip became group chats and social media. Shared hunts became shared projects. Shared experiences. Road trips. Adventures. Food sharing became dinner parties. Coffee dates. Splitting a meal. Ritual ceremony became concerts. Sports events. Weddings. Funerals. The mechanism is identical. Only the costume has changed. And this matters, because understanding the mechanism helps you use it better. Friendships do not form through proximity alone. They form through repeated interaction over time. They deepen through vulnerability and shared challenge. They are maintained through consistent small acts of showing up. Not grand gestures. Small, reliable, repeated ones. Your ancestors knew this intuitively. They had no choice but to know it. Their lives depended on maintaining their tribe. For us, the stakes feel lower, but the need is just as deep. Loneliness today activates the same threat response as it did 300,000 years ago. Your body still thinks being without a tribe will kill you, because for most of human history, it would have. The loneliness epidemic we see today is an ancient alarm going off in a modern world. An alarm that was designed for the savanna, not for screens and solo apartments. So, what do you do with all of this? You stop waiting for friendship to happen to you. Your ancestors never waited. They actively maintain their bonds every single day. You share food with someone. Invite them into your space. You laugh with them, not at a screen separately. Together. You show up when things are hard, not just when things are easy. You let yourself be seen, actually seen, not just the curated version. These are not modern self-help tips. These are 300,000-year-old survival instructions, proven across hundreds of thousands of years of human survival. The next time you feel lonely, remember what that feeling actually is. It is not weakness. It is your ancient tribal alarm telling you to go find your people. And the way to find them has not changed in 300,000 years. Show up. Share something. Laugh together. Be honest. Repeat. Your ancestors built entire civilizations on exactly that. You can probably manage one friendship. If this made you want to call someone you have been meaning to call, that is exactly what GULD is here for.